My name is Coach Michael Burt, and I have a very basic premise. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. I like to do one of my favorite shows called Good Coach, Bad Coach, the secrets that great coaches know that the other coaches never figure out. I believe a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skill sets to dominate a market. Coach Michael Burt, the super coach, every week coming into your life to multiply your life and your money and your business. Today is typical of a coaching day. Numerous groups that I'm spending time with, numerous groups that I'm coaching, which is really the awesome part of what I do. I get bored easily, so I'm looking for different people. I feed off the energy. So, you know, today we started off on the bus, headed to Keller Williams to do an event for a local Keller Williams office. And it hit me while I was away in Florida that I wanted all of my operations people to become salespeople. With a minimum number of sales I want them to hit every month, and that number was 15,000. That's 3 monsters a month, and I want every person hitting a minimum number in operations. Most people don't do that. They think their operations people don't sell. Well, when they hit those numbers, we can have more operations people, which decreases the pressure off our current operations people. We sell more, we pick up revenue, and then we teach everybody to see and seize opportunity. And that was the first conversation I had with Takesha on the bus this morning. And I could tell she was a little apprehensive. She was wondering, could she hit her goals? So what my job is to help her bet on herself. If she wants to make more revenue, she's got an opportunity to increase her revenue by 18,000 by selling 15,000 a month in sales. I'm looking at customer experience, total growth, callbacks, optimization of current relationships. I mean, we got 100 people that are paying. They got friends.
Yeah.
You know, we need to be digging into those relationships more. You know.
I agree.
So, 15K, that's our goal in May. New month, new opportunity. Don't be scared of it.
I'm not scared of it because I was just thinking it this morning. This is weird that we're having the conversation when I was just saying to myself that I want to sell 5 monsters producers this month, 4 to 5. So you're saying 3.
I mean, you've had months where you signed 3 of them already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last month.
See? Easy breezy. Then we left there and went to the Keller Williams. All right, almost showtime, guys. Got some real estate agents. 5 small shifts to have a massive increase. That's what we're talking today. And I try to draw an analogy. Because I speak so much, I'm looking to challenge myself. So it's never scripted. It's never the same. It's not, I'm a speaker that's got one presentation and I'm just looking for a new audience to give it to. I wake up in the mornings and I meditate on what I'm going to talk about. I take notes. I think about it. And then I read the audience. So this morning I equated selling real estate to getting people to the circus. How do you get people in the tent? What do you have to sell them once you get them in the tent? How do you get them to come back? And how do you give them something to talk about? And it's an easy analogy because everybody's been to the circus at some point. And here's the problem. Most people can't get enough people in the tent. It is number one, we got to figure out a way to get people to the circus. Y'all ever been to the circus before? Okay? We got to figure out how to get people to your circus. We got to get people in the tent. Okay? This is called lead generation. How many people would like to have 3, 4, 5 times the amount of leads you're currently getting? Qualified leads. Not crappy leads. Not fake leads. Real leads, real people. So we did a great 30 or 45 minute coaching session there. We will pick up 3 or 4 monster producers, people that are serious and don't want to just get the cotton candy of a speaking engagement. And that's our number one way we get customers is to get me out on the circuit speaking. So we're constantly looking. And I feed off that energy. So I had a great session there. We left and went to Middle Tennessee Electric Membership Corporation. And these are tough guys, man. These are guys that work on the electricity in your community. Climb up there in the middle of the night on a Saturday night in a storm and work on the power. Stop number 2, guys. Stop number 2. Getting here coaching folks up. My message there was to try to get them to think about their own potential, to see their work as the distribution channel for their talent. I tell my employees up front, if you're going to get your feelings hurt every time I challenge you, or you're going to be defensive about everything, or you can't handle any type of constructive criticism, you don't need to work with me. But if you are seriously interested in your potential, I'm the guy for you. And ultimately, I brought it back home to how do you become a great coach that other people want to play for and not create an adversarial relationship between you and your employees, because most people don't believe that blue-collar workers want motivation. They say things like, well, they don't read books, or they don't, and that's nothing could be further from the truth. They're people. They got a body, they got a mind, they got a heart, they got a spirit. They need to be nourished, they need to be fed. And what I did today is pour into those. And although they were a little pensive at first, by the end of the presentation, man, they wanted to talk, they wanted me to sign their books, they're asking questions, they're taking pictures, and I connected hopefully with their mind and their heart and their spirit. And a few of those people walk out of there going, that guy's right, man. I got more potential in the tank. And that's just before lunch. That's everything we did before lunch today. In our coaching programs, one of the biggest reasons that a person wants a coach is for accountability. And they believe accountability is an outside factor holding them accountable to their actions and their dreams. I would tell you that a person needs accountability for these reasons. We all start with good intention. We get inspired. We get an inspired state and we want to take action, but we fall off the wagon. We lack self-discipline. We have too many things going on. We don't have a structure. We don't have a system. We live in the past. We get sidetracked. And so we start with good intention, we fall off the wagon, and then we feel guilty. And the guilt is associated with grief. We're grieving our lost potential. And most people will go years and years and years of their life without activating their potential. A good coach holds people accountable, and sometimes just hearing it. So in Monster Producer, twice a week, I offer an accountability school for every person that's in Monster Producer to go through. They can be on there every single week if they want to get interaction with me, to hopefully I could supply some energy and power to them and influence to them. But more importantly, to say, what are you doing? What you're learning? You're paying money. You said you wanted to get better, but you're not doing anything that we're teaching you. Why not? I don't want you to experience that grief. I don't want you to experience the guilt of knowing you wasted time and energy not realizing your own potential. I talk about that in the new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. It's chapter 3, Grieving Your Lost Potential is where action starts. Until you grieve your lost potential, you're not that serious about playing at much higher levels. And you get this, people do business with other people who believe the same things they do. So here are the framework of a good explanation of service. Number one, a lot of people don't get that we have to have bait, cheese on the mousetrap. We have to give people a reason to come to the circus. We gotta, and for me, one of the ways that I transfer my knowledge and my skill and my desire and my confidence and hopefully my likability and energy is through video, because we can reach more people. When you start to scale up your company and you want to affect a lot of people, you can't take 1,000 meetings in a day, but one Facebook Live, one video. And I was looking the other day and we have over 200,000 views on YouTube. We're picking up 75 new subscribers a month. And that's a way for me to connect to a group of people. So Super Coach is a podcast I do every week. And let me tell you the beauty of it. It makes me get better. I'm thinking about what topics do I want to talk about. It forces me to think through. It gives me more content. But at the end of the day, it's a way for me to take a point of view and shove it out to the market and see who's interested. From that, we generate leads and momentum and interest. We have people sign up for coaching programs. So it's my weekly podcast/vodcast that we then push out through all of the mechanisms of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and we put that out in the form of intellectual property. Most people don't have anything valuable to say because they haven't taken the time to develop content. And without content, you're just selling a commodity. What I'm selling is experiences, confidence, energy, focus, structure, relationship, creativity, direction. And I give that to people through a weekly show called Super Coach. Your credibility walks in the door before you do. I love when people call and say, man, I know that I got to play another level. And everybody I've gone to said, you are the guy who can help me do it. When I was 31 years old, I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it was Robert Kiyosaki's book about how he had two dads. And the subtitle is What the Rich Teach Their Kids That the Poor and Middle Class Never Do. And it was such a great book. I tried to figure out, why did 30 million people buy that book? What was the appeal? Well, it compared and contrasted rich people and poor people. He had two dads. His biological father was a poor dad, and his his friend's father was his rich dad, and he got advice. He got conflicting advice. And so one Saturday I was in an inspired state, and I wrote a blog called Good Coach, Bad Coach. Secrets the great coaches know that the others never figure out. And it was the most read blog I think I'd ever written. And it taught me something. There's millions of coaches in the world. I mean millions. A lot of bad coaches. I'm not saying I'm the best coach in the world, but I did have a demonstrated capacity of winning a championship, turning a program around, building it into a dynasty and powerhouse. And then a demonstrated capacity of taking people that I'm coaching out to much higher levels of performance. And so that show is for the leader, the manager, to say, here's what a good coach does, and here's what a bad coach does. And if you want to be a good coach, like I think you want to be, then this show is going to be for you. If you want to transition from a supervisor, manager to a real coach, good coach, bad coach is going to be right up your alley. When I first got the head coaching job, there was a big a concrete wall right down the middle of our locker room that separated the old players and the young players. And the first thing I said is, that wall has got to go. That wall has got to go. I think in a day, as you follow me in this documentary, this Making of a Coach, the life of a super coach, you're going to find out that I try to disperse a lot of energy, which means I've always operated from the thought process of you can't give away what you don't possess. If I don't have energy, I can't give you energy. If I don't have mindset, I can't give you mindset. And so I think you're going to see that we push energy out to the market. We attract like-minded people back to us. And just like everybody else, you're going to see that we're selling every day. We're refining every day. We're coming up with new concepts every day. My main thing is for people to see that we're trying to stay in a dynamic state. And everything I'm teaching, I'm practicing. Everything I'm teaching the people that are watching this, I'm doing. I'm working a hit list, and I'm on the phones, and I'm trying to sell, and I'm doing promotional videos, and I'm trying to get people to the circus, just like I'm telling other people. Once we get you in the circus, we got all kinds of things to sell you, and books and all kinds of stuff. And then we want you to come back, and then we want you to talk about it. And if you can remember those things, it's no different than any other business. I'm just in the business of trying to get people to much higher levels of performance, and sometimes they don't even know that there's another level for them to reach.